Now is the time for transfer window. Yep, let's get into this. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm trying to cut down video length. So first thing, we'll jump over to the calendar to look at the results since the last one. We started our last match before our first match of this period was the home game here to Blackpool, 1-0 win. A lot of chances. We created some good stuff, got a win there. A couple of days later to Barnet, we lost that one. Lots of chances, beaten by a long ball over the top and a pacey striker. But not all bad news. We went to West Ham in the FA Cup. Well, we didn't go to, we were at home, and we beat them 3-1. They just went to sleep. I'll give some more highlights on this one. We got a fairly early goal through Mark Randall. He tried to play in Labadie. Defender put in a tackle, but it was a sloppy one. It went right back to Randall, who took a touch and finished. Not long after that, more lazy defending. Parkin was able to take the ball off a centre-back at the top of his own box and slotted home to make us 2-0 up. West Ham rallied a little bit into the second half, got one goal back before Labadie took a ball from Parkin and just thundered it in from about 25 yards out. That goal was on Twitter. I mentioned I put some highlights up on there. That one made it. Next match, Plymouth. We got a 0-0 draw there. Not too bad. They were just right around us in the table, and it was away from home, so that's an okay result. This one, not so much. 2-1 loss to Hartlepool. They've been getting the better of us, unfortunately, recently. That's a couple of losses to them this season, and I can't figure out how to get away around them. They play 4-3-3, which is unusual for this league. And then we went to Old Trafford for the FA Cup match and went down 2-0. Not a bad result overall. I mean, it's Man United. Come on. We're Newport. It's sad to go out. We did get way farther than we needed, but that's okay. That's all the results. We start with our next match against Portsmouth in a few days. Let's have a quick look at the league table to see where that leaves us off. We are currently sitting in third. Same points as Plymouth. Better goal differential by 1. We still have conceded the least goals in the league. Luton are comfortably on top with Notts County nipping at their heels, and we are just a little behind. We've got a little bit of cushion between dropping out of the playoff zone, though, which is good. Now on to the transfer stuff. Let's go over here to the negotiations, and we'll see what happened. Boom, there's a list of what's happening. Jake Reeves is coming in on a free next season from Wimbledon. He will be a great playmaker in midfield. Solid overall rating. Look how much he's worth and how little we're paying him. Solid get there. Mendes Lang is going to come in, a bit more expensive, but we need a right winger considering Mary Williams is out of contract, and we're only going to be paying him a little bit more than we're paying Mary Williams, so that's also a solid acquisition. Hansen was one of the best centre backs available to replace Darren Jones, who's also out of contract. We're paying him about the same. He's a couple points better and not about to retire as well. Tom Elliott from FC Wimbledon. He is the kind of striker I wanted. He's tall, he's strong, he's pacey, not huge on the foot skills and finishing, but if he can bring the ball down and set up one of our midfielders or other strikers, that's the kind of style that I think we're going to play with, especially with the 5-2-3 formation that I've used a lot recently. Lookman just came in on loan for the end of the season, sort of a replacement for Healy. I forgot to mention all of our loan players, Jordan Green, Grego Cox, Kyle Cameron, Josh Sheehan, and Reece Healy. Their loans have all expired and they've gone back to their parent clubs. So I brought in Lookman just as a bit of cover for that. Hamish Watson is another tall target striker. We got him cheap from Wellington. He'll be next season as well. Going to be a replacement for John Lewis, who is, I think, overpaid for his contribution to the team, so his contract will expire and he will not be renewed. Samizada coming in from Bolton, kind of a replacement for Grego Cox. He hasn't played yet, but when the schedule gets a bit more stressful towards the end of the season, having an extra, quick, talented striker will be what his role will be. Beauchamp has gone out on loan to Walsall, and Liam Angel was sold to Sligo Rovers to bring in some cash. Why did we let Beauchamp go on loan? Well, let's take a look at some of the players that we have brought in. Go over here to the squad. First, here's Lookman up top. This guy. This is why. Callum Bailey. Wow. He's a youth player. And he came in at just the perfect time. first day of the transfer window, we got notification that Joe Day had been picked up on a free transfer. I hadn't had a chance to renew his contract yet. I was trying, but it failed. And off he goes. We've no longer got him. So I'm like, well, I guess this other keeper that we've picked up here, Nils Larsson, is going to get a lot of time. Because Bittner's contract's expiring. Well, I don't even want him. But then this guy, Callum Bailey, popped up. And I'm like, wow, perfect replacement. He's got fairly high potential as well. So he's going to be important, I think. Maybe. He did give us some trouble giving him a contract, so I think he's going to try and leave at the first chance to get more money. Because youth players only get paid $400 a month, or a week. $400 a month is terrible. And of course I've got it on British pounds, so a little better. Other youth players who are, I looked at Nils Larsson, the other keeper. Ed Collins, we need cover for right wing, since Myron Williams is our only true right midfielder, since Jordan Green left, although Jordan Green was listed as a striker, he also played there. Jackson can play there in a pinch, but I'd rather have him as a target harassing striker because he's got good physical stats. The other player we brought in just as cover was this guy over here, Ove Haugen. Not particularly good, but he's fairly physical, fairly pacey, decent tackler, so he'll work as a defensive mid to cover Tozer or Lowity, whoever I've got playing. I'm not using the defensive mid position in this 4-4-2, but I do like the 4-1-4-1 quite a bit. That's been one of my main rotations. And that's all the youth players that we've brought in. We have one other player besides Harrison Morris, the centre back that we're nurturing up to age. Isaac King there. I thought he was going to have a higher overall rating. His range to start with was like 49 to 67 or something, so I was expecting a little higher. 53, still reasonable. His potential's high. If we can train him up, he will be a good striker option for the quicker striker to go along with your John Parkins, Tom Elliott. If we can get him some good finishing skills, which are actually kind of garbage at the moment. He's got good dribbling though. If you can get into good positions, he'll slot him away. So that's how our youth academy is looking up. Just a couple more updates. Ben Tozer and Jackson, Binho, and Butler have all got new contracts. All of those were expiring except for Butler. He just wanted more money, and he's a solid left back, so we'll keep him around. He didn't want that much more. What else do we have on the list? The only other thing I have to talk about is a pro tip. When it comes to youth academy guys, I'll show you over here, if I can get to it right. Here, in the finances. Youth facilities, $64K per month for one player, and that doubles for each player costs you $64K per month. If you bring your youth players into your team, you're paying them $400 a week or $1,600 a month. Child's play. It's almost worthless to keep players in your youth facilities if you don't have to. The only player we keep in there is Harrison Morris because he's too young to be brought up to the first team. So pro tip, only bring players into your youth academies when you're ready to sign them. You get the option to train them up. I really don't know if there's any other benefit to it. They might learn quicker and get skills higher while they're in the facility, but I've seen no evidence of this, so save your money, bring them into the squad, and do your training there. That's it. We'll end on the tip. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this update video. And what do you think of the acquisitions? Well, we've got some good players coming in. I think we're going to be solid contenders. Whichever league we're in next year, we may get promoted, maybe not. I don't know. But leave your comments. Where do you think we're going? Until next time, which will be the end of February update video, I will see you all later.